What's up, you guys? I'm Henry Gracie, and this is one of our students, Deana, and she's awesome. So Deana started with us in a Women Empowered class. I mean, maybe a couple years ago. She started a Women Empowered program. She has now advanced beyond that, and an incident happened, and she told me about it today. So I asked her if she was comfortable sharing it, and she said yes. Deana, take it away.
So I was in Las Vegas. I just moved there. I was in the parking lot of Lowe's, and I was still in my car, and I saw this guy kind of like hovering the parking lot, and he started hovering around my car. And I was like, kind of looking at him, like, I don't know what this guy's doing. So I go to get out of my car, and he starts approaching me, and he gets in my space. And I just instinctually went, no. And I did that, and he went, okay. And he turned around and walked away. And I was shaking. I was like, I can't believe that just worked. Like, I can't, I'm so excited that worked.
That's so awesome.
Successful.
So you guys, this is so major. So she actually, and you didn't, so he comes up to you, you don't know what he wants.
No.
All you know is that he was close enough to where you didn't feel comfortable.
And he said something in Spanish, so.
Blah, 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 and then.
I went, no.
And see, listen, you guys, listen to what she just did and what she just said, and look at what she just did. It's so, no. It wasn't a question mark. There was a statement there, and she doesn't even know exactly what she was saying no to.
Yeah.
And he maybe didn't even understand English, right? Because he was speaking Spanish to her. But what's crazy is what she did was not limited by any language. Her tone and her assertiveness and her distance and her posture is exactly what we teach in Women Empowered lesson number 6, Stop, Block, Frame. And what we teach is that when you set a boundary, only when you set a boundary, are you then aware of what someone's intentions are. Because let's just say, Deana, go ahead, set up the boundary, go. And she did this, and she said no, and she asserted her, stay there, and she asserts herself. If he would have said, hey, but let me do blah, 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 blah.
No, I would have got louder.
You would have got louder and gotten further away. But at the very least, what you would have known is what he had bad intentions.
Yeah.
And you would have been prepared for that. Which unfortunately is so common for so many people, men and women, that when conflict approaches them, there's a tendency to do what? Down, quiet, and conservative.
Yeah, not make eye contact.
Yes, try to almost like.
I used to do that.
It'll just go away if I don't talk about it. I don't look.
He can't see me. I'm looking away.
Right, exactly. And here's what's crazy: if you're the predator in this situation, what do you want? You want quiet and conservative target. So Deana was exactly the opposite. She was loud and assertive as a target. Not only that, she maintained the perfect distance where even if he wanted to hit or hurt her or grab her, he wasn't within range to do that. He would have had to overcommit to grab her, but she was prepared by that point. So talk about the energy that this just happened. And he went, okay, because he comes up totally, you don't know this guy.
No, and he wasn't even really looking at me.
He's just moving in, you did your thing.
He was kind of like doing this weird,
He was creeping in closely without trying to stay off your radar. He was trying to stay off your radar. You slammed him on your radar, and a lot of times people won't assert themselves because they don't want to embarrass the person, right? Yeah. How did you overcome that? Like, what did you feel allowed you to just say no?
It became instinctual.
I love that, you guys.
It was instinctual.
And what we teach the students in our Women Empowered classes is that it's natural to not ruffle any feathers. And a lot of times we don't want to embarrass someone else. So we practice these role-playing situations so that they can actually hear themselves say, hey, back up. We actually taught it this morning, my wife and I, Eve, in the live Zoom class here at GU. This was Saturday morning's live Zoom class, lesson number 6. And then Deana was here doing another class, and I'm like, yo, come over here. I need you to tell this story. And she was down for it because it's the exact same thing we just talked about. It's so exciting. So after this happens,
I was shaking.
He moved off, and tell us exactly what you're feeling and what you did next.
So I said, no. He walked away. He said, okay. He kind of turned around, and he kind of walked back around my car. So I kept creating distance and was watching him.
Good.
And he just walked off.
Okay.
And I went into the store, and I was like, I can't believe that just happened. I was like so like shaken up, and like my heart was beating my limit. Kind of like right now retelling the story, but I was shooken up a little bit. But I was like, that worked. That worked.
Totally worked, Deana.
And I was saying that to myself. I'm like, that just worked. I'm like, oh my god. And I was like,
you guys, lesson number 6. We're so proud of you. This is incredible, you guys. And that's all we hope, right? We hope that we do enough repetition, enough role play, enough verbal assertiveness to where hearing yourself say, hey, no. And doing that with everything you have becomes normal. And it became normal for her. And then when called upon, it wasn't even a conscious thought for you, it sounds like.
No, not at all.
It was just her muscle memory when, as she acknowledged, prior to the training, the muscle memory might have been, oh shoot. And maybe looking away, maybe shying, maybe kind of doing this whole thing. And we don't know exactly because maybe she hadn't been provoked in that way prior. But what we do know is what happened. were so proud that the technique came out. She was buzzing afterwards. And listen to this. We teach women empowerment. We teach self-defense in general. And people always ask, how do you know it's working? Well, here's what's crazy. The indication of success for us with a student like Deana or any other women-empowered student, the strongest indication of success isn't the number of guys who are beaten up, choked out, slammed, and broken, left on the side of the street by women-empowered students. That's not that's not what we want to be the measure of success. For us, the measure of success are the fights that are avoided because of the preemptive boundaries that are set as a result of the confidence that is established because of the techniques that they learn. So you learn how to fight so that you never have to. And that was this case. The confidence that you knew you could get down if you had to is what gave her the ability. It empowered her to say no, right? Because people typically don't set boundaries that they don't feel safe or capable of enforcing.
Yeah.
You were capable of enforcing it, which is why you said it, which is why he bounced and looked for another target, a quieter and a more conservative one. Not today, not with Deana. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Women empowered. Get down. Yes!